on 2 hours' notice, those friendly to Unitarian Christianity met in the town of Chicago, in an unfinished house, to hear a traveling Unitarian preacher. It was 1836, and on the bare planks of the floor they met teachers, doctor, construction workers, a bookseller, a couple of lawyers, none of them over 50. On the spot, they pooled $800 to buy land and pledged the money to build a church. That was a Sunday, and on Tuesday they made the first payment on an empty lot at Madison and State. When Illinois was not even 2 decades old, when Chicago wasn't even incorporated as a city, a dozen people in an unfinished home pledged their lives and cast their lot with us, with an unknown and unknowable future. Nor just in Chicago. That same year, our congregations in Joliet and Alton were founded. They planted trees in whose shade we sit. Hope. Hope is something different in kind than optimism or pessimism. One writer says optimism believes things are going to get better no matter what, and pessimism takes the opposite perspective. But both of them excuse us from action. Both of them, optimism and pessimism, remove us from the world, turn us into spectators, not participants, but hope. Hope declares something more difficult. Hope declares that a different way is possible. Possible, not given, not guaranteed. Possible. It's possible for you in your own living, and it's possible for all of us together that the way things are is not the way that they have to be. That's the invitation that it gives. The status quo, the world as it is, the habits and patterns of your own living, these things can change, and change for the better. Not promised, not inevitable, but possible. Friends, this year is exhausting and overwhelming. This year is too much. And we arrive in this moment to hear a word of hope. We arrive in this moment carrying as baggage with us disappointment and despair and disillusionment. You bring with you into this moment disconnection and disturbed hearts and distant hopes. Look, if you're going to take hope, you've also got to take care. Like they used to say on airplanes back when people flew, attach your own oxygen mask first before you help someone else. You're no good to each other if you're no good to yourself. Sleep. Eat. Turn off the news sometimes. That's okay. Talk to a friend. Sing. Cry, nap, pray, laugh, be good to you. You are worth it. You're worth it. Take care means take care of your body. Take care of your spirit. Let your body, your heart, your spirit lay a claim on your life. You need them. You need them strong if we are to be in this world till the end. Prairie wisdom says that if you want to grow tall, you grow deep. If you want to grow up, you tend to your roots. Before colonization, most of Illinois was oak savanna, grassland, prairie dotted with oak trees, clusters and clumps. When an acorn opens, it sends up a couple of leaves, but the next thing it does, the most important thing it does, is it sends down roots. A little 3-inch sapling has an 8-inch taproot, gone down to find water so that a dry spell doesn't spell the end of it. And then it spreads out. It spreads wide. A full-grown oak tree, its roots go 5 times wider than the leaves, than the crown. And those roots grow together into its neighbors to share with each other the strength and the stability to withstand a storm. The prophet Isaiah calls to us to become oaks of righteousness, oaks of justice, people whose roots go deep and spread wide so that we shall not be moved. Take care of your body. Take care of your spirit so that this world can break your heart. At a protest once, I was surrounded by this great and mixed multitude of people, by hip-hop heads and businessmen in leather-soled dress shoes, white folks and black folks and Native Americans, and South Asians, and East Asians, Hispanic folks, kids, youth, adults, elders, and the speaker said what we have in common, what we have in common. What we have in common is that we are heartbroken. This is what democracy looks like. That vulnerability, that compassion which breaks you open is the self-same thing that connects you to every other person in the city, the state, the nation. It is your roots growing together. The heartbreak that you feel when friends, neighbors are suffering, are running as fast as they can and still falling behind, still left out. That's not something you carry alone. We all feel it. We are with you. No one an island, no one apart. Even though this way is often hard, you are not alone. So take hope and take care. And take action. The folk singer, the Unitarian Pete Seeger, tried to describe once what it feels like to make change in the world. He says, imagine a big seesaw. Imagine a big seesaw. One end's got a basket of rocks down on the ground. And on the other end, there's a basket half full of sand. And there's some of us got teaspoons. And we're putting sand in that basket. But most people are laughing at us doing this, right? Most people are laughing at us. They say, don't you see it's leaking out as fast as you put it in? And we say, there's more of us with teaspoons every day. And one of these days, you'll see that basket full, and the whole seesaw will swing just like that. And then you'll say, hey, how'd that happen so quickly? Democracy happens in public like that. Each of us with our teaspoon doing what we can. Democracy happens when you get educated about the issues and share what you know. Democracy happens when you vote your values and you tell your friends why. Democracy happens when you make an endorsement of a candidate. You say, this is who I'm with and here's why. Democracy happens when you take hope and take care, and then take action. In 1836, those friendly to Unitarian Christianity in the city of Chicago bought an empty lot to build a church. But here's the thing. The very next year, 40% of all banks in the country failed. Chicago real estate became worthless. A malaria epidemic followed a cholera epidemic. That lot at Madison and State, the Unitarians couldn't even find the money to make their second payment on it. They couldn't afford a building, they couldn't keep a minister, but they persisted. They resisted. They did not back down. They were in it until the end. 184 years ago, they could not have imagined us meeting now online. We could hardly have imagined this 1 year ago. Nonetheless, our ancestors, from generation to generation in this free tradition, they pledged their lives in common bond with us. They planted trees and nearly 2 centuries ago gave us 3 gifts that I pass on to you today, that you don't leave this service empty-handed, but instead go out into this world, taking hope and taking care and taking action. We're in it till the end.